Well, as I said to TR earlier on, so obviously I've done streams before recently with the settings and stuff like that. So I don't know if because I've done it before, that's why we never had the issue, because obviously it could have been TR's first time doing it. But us too, man. We're professionals at this game. Not the driving
Us
part,
two
the speaking part.
professionals. That is
No, the
a
speaking part.
bold claim calling us professionals. We're semi-professional. Well, maybe you may be professional, but I'm definitely not quite there yet.
You've been out the game a little bit. As we get ready to join the lobby, I'll do the old introduction. So we are here in Bahrain for SF1, tier number 2. We're here for the first round. This is the first dance of the tier, and have 20 of our drivers have a bit of a rampage on the start. Looking forward to this one. As I say, we had the race last night, which was a bit eventful, to say the least, for some of us that get corners. I'm here, 21 Maxwell, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by SF1, no longer master. Mo, how are you doing?
Bad at all. Let's go. It's gonna be a good start to the
Excited
season.
for this, buddy?
It's gonna be fantastic.
Got everything up that we need, so that's basically giving us the fastest lap. The tyres will set their lap on. We'll try and give you the telemetry, the lap data. We'll give you the full track map as well. We've got a few guys out on track already. We've got Ross Plum. Hopefully, the onboards are a bit better than they've been. The engines have not been great, so I've been between that and these cameras. I won't be able to see who's in 11th and 12th place because my broadcast covers that. But yeah, we'll keep you updated.
I'm sure.
Just the mix of the. What would you start on?
But a safety kit, and I'd be straight onto the softs. There's no get the softs on, get the lot, and deal with safety cars as they come.
So I think the only person that's committed it, I think is it Devlox. Just check there. I think that's an I. We'll go with Devia. It's committed to the mediums. 869. He's committed as well.
And
as
TJ.
is TJ. And we've got Spinella.
I can see a few. I can see a good chunk setting their first laps on the mediums just to see what they can do. But I think everybody got the race, and then I don't think any. I doubt anybody would touch the hards. I mean, I'd be really surprised if they do, because you'd just be bugged right down to the back end there. No, like Ross Plummer and his the first lap we got.
Well, do you know I was going to put the pressure lap around the Bahrain, but if you want to take it, we'll go for it.
No.
You can get a great launch out of here. Sometimes you can get a really good leap on you. If not, then you can carry on down to the end of Sector 1. Get on the braking as much of the curb there as possible. Try and get some action out of here to set you up. This bit can upset the car a little bit, but if you can nail it, it's good. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Just someone backing off. Harsh braking point here, but you want to set yourself up as good as possible to get on the power. And then it's one of the trickiest, I would even say trickiest in the season, is this harsh braking point into turn 10 here. You're really looking to maximise your exit here, and that's going to set you up for quite a sweeping into the lap. A lot of power down here. S is activated, and then this is going to catch a lot of drivers out. I've seen a few races of several leagues where this has sent a lot of people either too narrow or too much on the curb. It's all confidence here, because obviously with Ross being the first person round, will have sector, and then after this it's just basically getting on the power as much as you can get, and then giving yourself a really good exit, and then onto that start finish the final DRS straight. So Ross is going to set the first time of his session at 25.9.
Animal will be the next to cross the line. Senan has just lifted, so let's have a look, see what he gets as he crosses the line.
26.7. And as you say, lifted. Yeah, 8.10s. I've heard that one of Ross's strengths over the years has been speed. You know what I mean? He really does have really good one lap pace. So I would not be surprised to see him up there as Content Bonker takes second, 126. Cars are coming round. It's not habitually.
Jason validates.
Oh, Phil got a little bit of a toe here. He's on the mediums, a good bit slower there. He's going to be maybe in the 29s, into the 30s, 30 flats. I think it's an Alfa Romeo just starting a lap.
Bill's coming across the lines.
See what Bill does. 27. His times are a bit all over the place. Obviously, Devia is going to pick because his tyres will be very, very warm. I think there's a Merc coming. I think it might just be Fatal Define starting his lap. Try to see what fade is that.
I'm surprised with that
lap
by Bill, actually. I thought it'd be quicker on the mediums. Because Bill's one of the ones I'd put up there for the top 4 come the end of this session.
With KLW. 29s, but everywhere with these kind of lap times, it's very spaced out. I mean, a good 5 seconds between the field, obviously 2 tyre compounds being used. And TR Sensation missed him as well, he's up into P3 and Animal, and it's amazing, a lot of guys that have a lot of experience with racing, life and SF1, with a solid session. A bit faster, 2.6 seconds up, so he could be looking at between Bill and Robbo, unless it's a really bad final sector. Slots in, and yep, right in that gap behind Bill. So that was a second lap there from Phil on the medium tyre. Alpha Tauri peels into the pits. Is that
Alpine in the wall? Is it? Well, Nutmeg was pulling off to let people past, and by pulling off, he was going right into the gravel trap and probably jeopardising these tyres for his next lap.
Lower bit rate the stream. See what we can do. I feel the best time, so we don't miss any action, will be in that 5 minute.
Yes.
And we'll lower the bit rate then, because it's not going to give me an option to do it just there.
No.
The only option I've got is to be slim, so I'd rather just use that 5 minutes, let him to get as much scene content as we can.
Absolutely.
Go back down by 1,000.
Even if it's choppy, let them see the entertainment, see the action. There is actually truly binding. 8 minutes into the session.
See what Lucky does. Purple. He does speed-wise. 25.838 for the Alpine, lower 10. And Ross Plum, I think, is that James coming up to finish his lap? As the 27.4. Too bad, not too. Still quite a good few people to do laps. I think is that TJ just starting his lap, possibly. It's the problem with the Alpines are practically the same colour, which isn't ideal. There's a hat. Try to see who that is. Is that Kale, possibly?
Senna's about to come to the line.
Oh, Senna's way down 4.15 for it. It was slower by a few tenths though. McLaren, this is probably going to be Devi. I start with Aston Martin coming into the pits. I can't tell if it's an Alpine or if it's a Williams. It might be TJ, I don't actually know. Just starting these lap. As I said, doesn't.
Yes, that'd be TJ starting. It is very, very close. I mean, you could even throw the Red Bulls into the mix for the colours there. 3 blue dots.
I think I know. Might be up. You miss it.
Oh, there's our first retirement.
Animal's retired.
He's lost
That's
it.
an actual crash.
He's lost it at the end of the second DRS straight. I can't remember seeing anybody lose it there throughout the entire pre-season so far.
So just to confirm, I think I know why the lag was. It should be fine now. I'm forgetting I had grid downloading.
Oh. I thought you said you were a professional. Professional and you was gone.
Well, I thought it would maybe have downloaded when I was playing Last Stop earlier on.
Oh,
But
context, nearly just put himself in the wall.
Looking good. We'll get Senna anyway, and he's going to put in the pits, so that killed that. Fast lap. Devia, are you on a flyer? So let me know, guys, in the chat. It should be a lot better now. I think that was the issue, as Devia goes third with a 1:26.1. We're going to have a fastest lap from the roadman, TG 4/10. Quicker than Lucky 13. Where has this man got his pace from? I'm all for it.
I mean, Williams. How biased are we going to be, or are we going to try and be as neutral as we can? But Williams. We can't say too much, can we?
We're going to be Sky Sports with Lewis Hamilton, so...
Oh, I mean, so we're all over Teach. Go on, Teach. Go on, boy.
Just jumping on board here with HL Ali HL. If we have a better pronunciation for this, let me know. Purple first sector, Rashi, that's a retirement in the pits, I think. Oh, and he's in the wall. Just too quick on the power there, and the Alfa Romeo has had a bad time. And I think, I'm trying to see here, Rashi I think was in the pits. For his retirement, so that's fine, he's quite comfortable with where he is. Nutmegs gains nearly 7/10 to go into P9.
I love the commentator's cast. There was me 3 minutes ago saying we've had nothing, no action, no crashes, 2 minutes to go out. I simply do apologise to Animal and Alia for that, but hey.
Richie says he can't see lap times. I think I'm hoping that's the case. Just you're not at a screen. But TJ top with a 1:25.4. Lucky 13 in the Alpine, 25.8 in second. We've got Nutmegs, and now he's in the wall.
And he's lost it at the same place that Animal did.
So quite a few. So what that's going to mean? Well, it's not actually the worst because obviously as someone that is used to doing the free qualifying stages, it doesn't rule them out. They can't finish the lowest as 15th. You know what I mean? They will obviously have the end of their session here, but yeah, we're definitely going to see Ali in 19th, possibly 20th. Hub just sets A time, and Animal, Nutmeg, and Rashi all into the lower halves of the grid. So as I say, Ross Plum in third at 25.9. And then the 26s will be Devia with 26.1. Contin Bonker moves up to P3 with a 1:25.8. And interestingly enough, Molly,
yes,
everybody has dropped the mediums. Apart from Defiance, ironic name possibly, and Senna, who are both staying on the mediums, but most of your high runners in the softs. Going to try and find someone near the end of the lap.
And those are fresh mediums too. Because Senna set his best time on the soft tyres. Yeah, they were 4 laps old, so I mean, with 1:28.5, I really hope he can beat that on the mediums. I hope he can beat that on the hards. So
half a second gain there for KL.
I'd be surprised if either of these two make the top 10 on the mediums. I think personally they're just burning race tyres out here for no reason. Like everybody else, they should just get straight onto the softs and really push for it. But who knows, they might have something up their sleeve that we're unaware of.
Well, KLW spinning. It's not what you want to be doing, because these are the tyres he set his fastest lap on, so you don't really want them to be ruined going into the race if he finishes in the top 10. Let's go get Hub. Let's have a look. And Hub's bottled, and he's in the pits, so let's not get Hub. Follows Senna. Senna's 7/10 up through sector 1. See how he takes this. He's got a little bit of traffic ahead in the Alpine, but that might also give him a little bit of a toll. Well, it's not an Alpine, it's a Williams. I swear to God, this game, honestly, change of liveries. They are far too alike. But it is still TJ setting the pace at the moment, a couple of tenths clear of Lucky 13. I'll try multitask.
1.2 seconds up for Senna. Okay.
So if
27.3 at the second.
With Rashi's position,
he needs to get this off on straight away. Bail in.
See what he can do.
Scrub this lap.
P15 for Senna at 26.9. He also just missed it. Our OG James up 9/10, he moves up to 10th place. Good lap there from James. He will at the moment be setting his. He'll start the race on those tyres. He's trying to follow the mini map. It's an Aston Martin coming round. I think that is. Let me see who that is. Is it Fatal Defiance? Just about
no,
to finish,
that's
possibly.
Aston Martin is Fatal's in the Mercedes.
Ah, oh well, we'll follow Fatal then. Don't know how I can mix the two of them up, but that's good. Actually, it's not. It's the Alpha Tauri and Aston Martin that have quite dark shades, of green and blue respectively. That are
TJ
very close.
is 1/10 up and it's just gone purple in the middle.
Let's join him. Sensation, by the way. up into P2, a 9/10 gain by TR Sensation. So he's up to a 1:25.7. Fair play to TR, by the way. As Ross Plum, there we go, the guys are starting to get the lap times. TJ is backing out.
Did he just speed into the pits?
He very speeded into the pits.
Very speeded into the pits.
He speeded that much in that I couldn't even speak English for it. TJ, don't do it in the rest, please. That's going to be a 5-second time penalty. Everyone in the pits. We've got a lap though, actually, with the livid opossum in the Haas car. This will be his first timed lap on the board. And so we don't really have any delta to compare with, as our teammate seems to be going slow. And 10th place, nice lap in there. I think that might be their only run, unless they're looking to go back to back, because there's only 2 minutes left in the session. So people will start to leave the pits now, because yeah, it takes a bit of time to get around here. Probably looking about 1:30, 1:35 time to get out the pits and good to go. Fatal Defiance has retired in the pits. He is sorted. So yeah, we'll just keep on board with Opossum then. We'll see how much of an improvement this possibly is with back-to-back, because it'll be mostly outlaps at this moment in time.
Sensations just went a tenth quicker. It's taken P2 again. Very impressive.
Well, he's just finished. That's incredible, you know what I mean? Like,
Ross Plum
you think
is entering the pits, and Ross Plum will take no further part in the session. I wonder if he's done enough there to hold on to P3.
It's risky. We'll look at that below him. 6 cars, all outlaps. Very brave from Ross Plum.
And with the track evolution, this could be 6 jumping him. He could end outside the top 10 here very easily. Very easily.
I think what'll maybe save him is the 2/10ths between himself and Lucky 13, and the 2/10ths again between Conton and KLW at Possum boxes. We'll get the 2 McLarens who are both on outlaps. May as well follow. We'll go with Viljaz. Or will we go with Devia?
I'm on KLW into the first sector. KLW is... Give it to me. Not even a 10th up in the first sector.
So we've got to keep an eye on that one then, because he is just above Devia. So then we'll be able to have an idea if it's worth jumping on. Looks decent so far, pretty much even with his first sector time. Very confident there on the power as well. So 6 of the bottom 7 have all retired. Ross Plum has retired. Hubbard is on a lap as well, so keep an eye on Hub, because he's going to try and do this in 1 lap.
KLW 1/10 up still. So not enough to challenge that top 3 just yet. Have an absolutely stonking third sector to do so.
See how he goes across the line, since he was just above Dev anyway. Yep, a wee bit slower, so he will go no higher than 6th place.
Bill is 3/10 up.
Dev is 1/10, Bill 3, so they could probably have actually similar lap times. 25.9. And Bill must have had a stonking last corner, because he's put his car up into 4th place. Well, 1:25.694. He's slotted into that gap between Ross Plum and Lucky 13. People are going to start to pass the line now, and we will do our best to find them. Content Bonker has invalidated. Loki's done. Robbo's done. Phil's done. I can't see because the hingy bar is there. TJ's went a wee bit faster. 25 where is he getting this pace for?
He's had a real development over the last this game. It's really taken to it. It's really out of nowhere surprising. Lucky he's off his lap, so that's, I'd say, it done and dusted.
So we said, yep, there we go. It's all finished.
I'll take back everything I said.
Order. Right, so your grid for this Bahrain Grand Prix for Tier 2 is going to see the Williams of TJ18 line up alongside the Alpha Tauri of TR Sensation. We're going to have Ross Plum next to Bilges, 5th place Lucky 1391 followed by Content Bonker. It's going to be Devia and KLW, Robbo and Phil, Non-Rope and Non-Ripe Loki and the Livid Possum. We're then going to have OG James next to Hubbardee in a former VFL reunion. We're going to have Animal next to Nutmeg Touches. We're going to have Senna in 17th alongside Rashi, and our bottom row is going to see Fatal Defiance and Alia. So basically the three guys on the mediums, 17th, 18th and 19th.
Almost as if
Gonna
it was
put you in the
predicted.
spot.
On the
Gonna put you in
spot.
the spot, Mo. What is the prediction?
The
Who
top,
is going to take
the top
and who is going to end up on that podium?
Oh, well, I mean, TJ has shown some raw pace, but he's been prone to a couple of spins on this track and others during the pre-season.
And plus, we've been round enough, we're experienced enough. We know that one lap pace is a hell of a lot different from racecraft.
And especially on this game, the racecraft is key with how easy it is to one cab, you're gone, goodbye race. I would always back Hubbardee, but I think back in P14, unless if he can get lucky with that safety car, he's not making the top 5 today. I would probably put Bill getting a P1 here, Bill getting the win. Bill
on the spot.
Yes,
Pressure.
it really is. I would put a Bill Devler 1-2. I think the McLaren race pace is going to carry them through here, and they are both pretty darn good at keeping the noses clean. And then P3, I'd probably be looking at TJ, Ross Plum, or TR Sensations. If one of those three can keep the penalties low, because of course Ross Plum and TR Sensations are known for getting a large amount of penalties, they could be right up there.
It's one thing, as we say, looking at the race pace, but sometimes I say corner cuts can happen. It's a place where we saw quite a few penalties. Sector 1 could be quite brutal for it, with turn 2, I want to say, can usually be quite brutal for it. If you are new to SF1, we do have a 5-minute break period between the qualifying session and the race, just to make sure everyone is hydrated, everyone is in the right mindset, everyone's got the right setup, or the right strategy, and may as well make a joke of this one, everyone's got the right amount of fuel in their car. You don't want to be under fueling too much and it coming back to bite you in the arse.
Oh, we know the feeling well. We know the feeling
very, very well.
Very nervy races so far.
And it's going to be interesting. The top 10 all will have to commit to the medium, onto the soft, sorry. And yeah, it's going to open up a lot of interesting strategy calls for the medium and the hard. Bumbledore says, listen to the commentator stating that racecraft is completely different to one lap pace. Shame it wasn't taken into consideration when deciding tiers. Not my decision.
The way things were wanted to be going, so... And on top of that, we did try to look at racecraft, of course, over the 3 or 4 weeks of pre-season, but the attendance of said races was pretty poor from some. And of course, that's the main reason as why it's gone from 40 is down to 3 again.
And I am probably the biggest component of poor one-lap pace to racecraft to pace, but hey.
Followed closely by me. It's what it is. That's all in the past. We've now got 3 tiers, 23, 24 weeks of the season over this long season. Let's just get our heads down, enjoy the racing, and get things going, really. The T3 started yesterday.
I had someone say to me earlier on, basically just say, Molly's very good racecraft and someone that doesn't seem to pick up many penalties, so obviously I had to say, where do you think I learned that from? He's taught me the way.
It's the only thing I can teach. As I said, I'm just like yourself, I cannot teach one lap pace. Sit me on TT all day long and I'll still be way behind the ghosts, looking at fucking gearboxes all day long. But no. Stop chatting about ourselves, let's move back onto this one. As we're getting close to the 5 minutes now, surely.
I think so.
I've got one question actually. Have you got your waffles today, or have you not bothered picking they up?
So I have like lots of waffles, as we can imagine, right? But I actually opted for double chocolate brownie bites today, so I have
Ooh,
like a full pack of them to the side of me.
very, very
Didn't
nice.
want to scoff them too much while we're commentating, but you know me, I like a chocolate delicacy when we're commentating.
See, I've got the
Uh,
British classic staple of a milk chocolate digestive.
Lovely, lovely.
It's a shame I haven't had a
I'd usually
chance
have
to get the cup
Ryan
tea with
Brew,
it.
but oh man, you're properly gone British with that.
I haven't had. Oh, Hub's just left. Oh, I will get
Some on it.
straight on the invite.
I've noticed that quite a lot. There is a lot of
People
cases
getting
with
kicked.
lobbies where everybody's been kicked or whatnot with lobbies, so it's somebody slow off the outlap as well. So it's not necessarily even a hub issue. Sometimes it is just the game. We'll try as well during the race to avoid disclosing the penalties that have been gathered, just to add a wee bit more suspense to the end of the race, especially if we get multiple safety cars. So I'm just going to look back at the stream because I can't see 11th and 12th place. But top 11 all seem to be on the softs. Opossum has
Gone for the
won
hards.
hards, Hubbardee on the softs, and mediums for everyone else, bar Fatal Defiance has also opted for the hard, sorry. But good to see the Williams boys are biasedness here. Alternate strategy, so hopefully they don't get in each other's way.
Mm. I think
Pardon me.
I think Opossum and Faisal have made the wrong choice again for those hards. There's going to be a safety car. I'm sure there'll be one within the first 10 laps, which means any potential gain they would have made is just null and void. You can drag your softs out 8-9 laps, which would probably be a safety car or close to a safety car, but the hards are just the wrong choice entirely. I can see
Just getting back
Awesome.
into the groove of this, make sure I've got the right options here. Yeah, I'd agree as well, Molly, because what a lot of people need to remember is it's fine doing a 1 lap pace roundabout here, especially at turn 12, but see when you're in a full tank of fuel, you're in the least grippiest tyres, it's,
mhm.
you know what I mean, you really are putting pressure on yourself here. And again, if you're on the hards and you maybe get like a wee contact with someone into turn 1, you know, it's very, very easy for just the slightest little nudge that can cause damage that might not be visible but can take a bit of pace off your lap times. Then you know, your race is practically snookered there unless you get some sort of VSC or safety car as well. But we are ready for the drivers to take their slots on the grid. I better actually stand up so I can get a better look here.
Getting fully in the mood for this one, you are. Oh,
Like Crofty, Caroon, Paul the rest, I'm standing in the
in
studio.
the commentary box.
Ready.
I am flopped out as low as I can be. I'm effectively sat in the freaking bathtub looking over the handles as a Martin Brundle would say.
I think what we'll maybe do is look at maybe P3 or something, but we're getting lights out, I think. Let's just see, we're on board with TJ. 1 light, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are lights out and away we go in Bahrain. TJ takes a really good start there. I think Sensations are a slow one. We're on board with a few. Let's see who is going to be brave here. Going to turn 1 that's relatively easy for TJ. There's an Alpha Tauri that's went. Wow. Nutmeg's retired effectively. I don't know if that's just a yellow flag. Surely to God there must be a safety car for that Alpha Tauri Animal, I think it was, and somehow that car is still running in this race, but I don't know what the hell happened there for Animal. Good lad, but wow, that was interesting. I'm going to quickly see if we can get the penalties. We want position changes. KLW up 3 places off the start, non-rope blue key up 2. Biljaz down 3, Content Bunker. We've got Rashi who is retired and he has went and it's a VSC. So Ferrari have lost XI Rashi. That seems to be that breaking point. I say breaking point at turn 2. It's effectively where you are kind of just getting on the power, and the car's obviously ended out. Not turn 2, sector 2.
I think someone may have had their brakes cut or their brakes just imploded on the freaking start line there, because to me it looked like either Nutmegs or Animal just didn't brake for the first corner. Went straight on through the back of somebody else, and it was good night, Irene.
It seems as well, Mo, top 11 all soft runners, so the softs have gotten a good start here, but with the VSC it's limiting their effect here because they're not going to be able to get the maximum performance to get away. It's quite a lengthy VSC. I don't know, somebody said was it something like they're either 30 seconds or they're 60 seconds now, but there's like an exact amount of time that they are.
The RS
we go racing.
What?
That's just a glitch with the game. It even says it's lap 3.
I was about to say.
TR Sensation here trying to make some good gains on Ross Plum. Let's see, it says DRS, but obviously DRS is not enabled. Non-rope key and Phil are going at it. We'll try and jump on board with that one. They're going to go neck and neck. Who's going to be braver here? As you'll notice as well, we will have a timing glitch. That is always going to happen with the leaderboards on the left hand side. Are a little bit messed up for the duration of lap 2 and a little bit of 3. See the McLaren's very, very close. They actually looked in the distance that Biljaz was going to possibly take the rear wing of Devia. Let's see if we get a decent launch, but yeah, relatively looks okay so far. Mo, you found anything else around about the field? Anything else worth picking up on?
Nothing out the back yet. It's quite tight, but everybody's not tripping over one another just yet. TJ's obviously pulling off a mighty gap there at the second, which is looking good. Oh, I'm just wondering if Lucky is going to shake the KLW. It looks like there is a divide slowly forming up there.
First spinner, and what did we say, Mo? I said it before the race even started. Fire on a heavy fuel tank.
Cold.
Turn 12. And round it goes Possum. Quick looking Sensation. He might make the move here on Ross Plum. He's got the DRS. He's going to utilise it all. He's going to be late on the brakes. Jump onto Ross's perspective. He tries for a switchback.
Catches the car.
He's could have went spinning there. So he's done well to save that.
Lucky though. Lucky could have him here.
I think it's just a wee bit too deep there. Just a wee bit too far behind, but that's a great opportunity taken there by Sensation, and he would try to just pull out of that DRS of Ross Plum. But after that, it's a little bit of a train before we have Conton Bonker with a timing glitch, because he is apparently a minute and 30 down the road when he's literally right in Biljaz's mirror. We've got him moved down the bottom there. I can see Fatal Defiance over Animal, so that is maybe just a case the Animal's tyres taking a bit of time to get back to temperature after his run down the escape road.
We mentioned fuel earlier. Looking at, with the HUD on here, TR Sensation, KLW, Bill, Devler, Phil have all under fuel.
Oh, Lucky's a wee bit out of place there. KL's going to have to brake. Or he was going to get in the back of him there, but it's another person getting caught out. There's another one, there's a spinner again. And it is Phil that's away taking another route there. Just hopefully gets a safe rejoin. Not right there, Phil. Come on, sir. It's not what you want to be doing. Have a look at your mini map and see where your other drivers are. Gents, that is the name of the game is TR Sensation with the fastest lap. Possum's round again. So the hard tyres are just not really coping with the track here. And KLW, while that happens, manages to get ahead of Lucky 13. I think Lucky could pull him back here. He's going to have DRS. KL's going defensive. Is he going to make the move? Let's see what camera angle this gives us. And KLW retains. It's a former VFL front four.
Oh,
who would have thought that?
A front four made up of TJ Sensation's Ross Plum. What is going on?
A little bit of... Oh, Lucky's had an issue. Lucky is not so lucky here, as the Alpine is somewhere. Oh, you can see him in the background there. He's had a spin, and he's going to drop way down the field there. I got a bit interested because James and Hubbardie were battling at it, and there was quite a few cars in about there.
It was good to see from Lucky waiting for the cars to pass before trying to rejoin. Not just as we've already seen earlier, 2 laps ago, but just straight on in the front of people, forgetting about it all.
Hub's looking good for a move on, I can't see P12 Robo it is, as the Red Bull gets by the Mercedes. If that wants to happen this week, please do. See how James is doing. He's behind Alia. Somebody I think that's taken really well at the game has been James. He's certainly rekindled his love and enjoyment for this game. I can see Ross Plum with the timing graphic there, just getting by TR Sensation. So there you go, battery is absolutely depleted for TR Sensation. We've got another spinner, and
it's Lucky again.
Lucky his luck is out with that one. See if TR Sensation's going to fight back here, but I think it is just a case that the battery's gone and he's going to have to slot in behind Ross. I think he maybe tried to just pull away from him in the course of having that gap ahead, but drained the battery too much, and no point in wasting it too early because, you know, we've got a long way to go. Still 24 laps round about the desert.
You're saying that KLW has got his down to 10% as well. So the top four have really depleted their batteries. Ross Plum is there on 79%. Saved it right. He's now going to more than likely pull away from Sensation here. But what I keep looking at is the fact that we've got 5 or 6 cars that are underfueled. They need that safety car, and if we don't get that safety car, their race is already over.
Or it's going to require a lot of lifting and coasting, but you've seen it yourself, Mo. You've been in races where it's even been with 2 laps to go that safety car comes out. Someone's really wide there. It was KL. That's going to compromise his line there. So Devia won't quite be able to capitalise because the gap was fairly decent. But yeah, just it's interesting that maybe the tyres are starting to go off a little bit, those softs, and we have a first pitter, and that is Devia 330, who will leave the softs. We'll try and see if there's any other decent gaps. I can't see if there's a gap between 11th, 12th and 13th, I'm afraid. Thank you, game. But
there's no gaps. He's going to come out right at the back here. Oh,
seeing if Animal's going to get close. So he's looking for an undercut with that.
He's gone to the hard tyres. Is that an indication he's going to try and take those to the end?
You'd like to think so. 23 laps, it's certainly doable. I think we know the softs, if you're really keen, can go maybe 10, 11 laps. I think I managed to drag them out, I want to say 12. I can't remember if that was our China, but they can be dragged out. Oh, Animal there a bit on the curb. And Robbo's a little bit out of shape here. The Merc's so close to colliding with the Alpha Tauri. I don't even know if that's the case of this. Robbo's tyres maybe just going off a little bit, and Animals are probably in a good window, as those mediums are pretty much the race tyre here. But a battling behind, as you can see there in the background, between Fatal Defiance and Phil. Carry this one right up until turn 12, see if there's any sort of movement here, as Robbo continues the battle with Animal.
Our race leader's pit.
TGN already. Let's see who else takes the gamble. We'll jump right up and see if anyone peels over.
Bill's going in.
Oh, Conton Bonker faked it. It's an interesting one. Crossing the white line.
I think he was just going for the slipstream, wasn't he?
I hope so. Obviously your medium runners will be fine. Hubbady's staying out.
Let's see if Devler was able to perform the undercut on his teammate or even the race leader.
What I find quite interesting as well is you now have the 2 Aston Martins next to each other, both on the same tyre. So one's going to pit, there could be obviously a stack in here. There's gaps formed as well. You know, like Ross Plum's dropped TR Sensation, who's dropped KLW, and you know what I mean, there's like 2 seconds in between most of those cars at the front.
Yes.
So DRS won't be as much of effect. I think the best battle we've probably got is this battle between Conton Bonker, non-ripe, low-key, and the highest of the medium runners in SF1 Senna.
Let's not forget though, Conton Bonker is here as a reserve today, so him and Loki have had no forms of communication with one another. So as you're saying, the pit strategy could completely backfire here. Hopefully Loki's got the common sense to do the opposite to what the lead car does. But
problem is they're that close.
They're that close. How? And you don't know the wear of the tyres either. I have no idea on their tyre wear.
And what could also be interesting for the net race lead, TJ getting caught in a bit of traffic here behind Fatal Defiance and Phil, and he's on the quicker tyres, but it's going to be tricky to make a move because Fatal Defiance is going to get DRS as we get KLW in the pits. Someone else has followed in there. That is, if I can see from my screen, Robbo. We've got a touch there between Defiance and TJ, but again, DRS is key, and Phil could maybe see. Oh, and they touched! And that somehow has benefited TJ, who's managed to just be out of the way of both. They basically touched TG backed off a little bit, and we have our first penalty of the evening, which is a 3-second penalty for SF1 Senna.
That looks similar to another
jump.
race I've been involved in where a couple of cars collided and someone glided around the outside.
It has seemed to be quite a place for incident. Let's see what Hubbard can do here. Is he going to try and put pressure on James? He just seems to back out a little bit, that's fine. Senna's the one I'm intrigued here to see, because he is... Fair enough he's got the penalty, but he's gaining in Content Bonker. I can see that he's lit non-ripe low-key by, I keep saying rope. Any of them going to pit this time?
Nope.
For staying out. Top 4 are stretching the tyres, and there we go, SF1 Senna. He's getting close to the wall.
Big squeeze.
But he's going to take 4th position there. We'll see how he gets in the switchback, but I think he's just managed to do enough. As TJ takes the fastest lap, he managed to scrape by that traffic. He's in my 129.2. Let's see what Content Bonker does here, a bonker. Oh, there's a bit of contact, but a tyre into the side pod of Senna. Thankfully the two of them managed to keep it in a forward trajectory.
That was a tight gap. That was a very ambitious and full send mode there. Senna, you would say on paper, should and could win this race. He has spent the majority of his FF1 time in and out of Tier 1, well GP1 and GP2. He's just obviously falling into Tier 2 for this season. So you'd expect him to be up there. He's got to clear this. He needs to push on these next couple of laps and get low-key and sensation if possible to have any chance of having them on the longer undercut, or the overcut I mean.
So I feel as well these laps are going to be very, very vital, because a safety car in the next 3-4 laps I think could change the full dynamic of this race.
Absolutely.
If you don't have a safety car, Senna's in a fantastic position. If a safety car comes out now, he's got a box for hards, while Ross Plum etc. have the advantage of going. We have a incident. I think that is possibly Lucky 13 again. No, it's not. It's Phil on the Red Bull. It's managing to keep going. That's fine. We also have, as they have Ross Plum and Sensation in the pits. So non-right low key as your race leader. As Phil gets back up and running, we've got a few places changing up there. We've got James back on the hub. As Biljaz takes the fastest lap in a 1:28.9. Let's see if James can try and get the place back on Hubbard. There's another spinner, and that is, I believe, awesome.
Both McLarens have just jumped TR Sensation. That
is massive. Robbo's went for another pair of softs. That's an interesting call. He's gone for soft, medium. That could be quite ballsy. So it's an interesting shout from Robbo.
Wouldn't rule out. If you look, he's got a 16-second gap there to Sensation. If he can put the power down this lap, he's going to jump everybody that he was near. Absolutely everybody is going to get jumped here. And then
nice wee battle for P10. Oh, and they touch again. Defiance. And KLW is going to look to try and get the better exit here on the better compounded tyre. He's going to have DRS. He doesn't have too much of the battery. I think he is just going to make it there. He's going to make the squeeze on Defiance. Defiance will maybe look to try and get him back. Oh, KLW a little bit wobbly there. And who's going to be braver into turn 12? KL a bit on the curbs there, but it does seem like he is going to be able to stretch and pull away. Tries to break the toe. Fatal Defiance will defy that and follow. As we have Hubbard. Oh, and they're so close to touching there. Very late on the brakes was Defiance, or very early on the brakes was KLW. But yeah, that could have been really, really bad. Hubbard, as I say, pitted, and he will move on to a new set of tyres that I'll let you know, mediums, as soon as I saw them. Animal putting a bit of pressure on OG James for 6th position. I'm saying that, the gap's even shorter up the front. Senna has clawed it back to just a few tenths behind non-right below Key, who's still dragging out those soft tyres. And again, the two Aston Martins haven't
risky.
pitted one of them. It's really risky. The fact it's only a 3-second gap, so Content Bonker at this moment in time is going to get held up.
They've got that. There's no way they'll be taking those past the lap 11, lap 12. That has to be their maximum limit. We could very well see the first puncture of the season here shortly.
We've got Baljaz there with a positional gain. OG James has been passed by Animal. We'll just keep an eye on that one. Animal using as much that left hand side as you can. I do feel that is one of the better lines to use. Gives you a lot better position coming out of turn 12.
I'm on with the leaders. Loki is pitting this lap. Let's see what Bonker does. Bonker is not pitting, so he's taken with the chance. But he's going to take these tyres 11 laps now, which is right on the cusp of what they can do.
And we have another spinner, Possum, for the third time I believe this evening. I think I saw some debris there to the side, so the car is fine. Sorry, my car is not fine, it's not broken at least, but he will probably need to fix to get some wing damage there. See if we can see any front wing damage. It does look from that camera angle that there is something missing. Yep, a full front wing. So he'll need that changed. Non-rope right low key was battling with the two McLarens. We'll jump on board there with Bill as he's trying to chase down Devia as Anno and James continue their battle for 4th place at the moment, not on net P4 because they have TJ right in behind this battle, which again, it's holding TJ up and really playing into the hands of Senna. Senna's probably got about an 11-second gap on TJ, so TJ would go probably about 14 seconds ahead, but soft compound tyres. We have a retirement and this could be massive. I'm going to go on board with Phil to try and see if we can see where Lucky 13 did have his incident. Oh, that's an interesting spot, exactly where I get binned last night. So he's lost it there, and that might trigger a safety car because he's left the session as soon as it's happened, so sometimes that can trigger it.
Green,
but no,
cleared. No safety car.
Green. I feel sorry there for Possum. He has to pit, and at the same time he's going to be a lap down there as Conton Bonker pits, and we also had TJ make the move on James, and TJ is going to try and make the move on Animal. He doesn't have the ERS to do it, but he does have the fresher tyres. He does have a lot of other things in his favour. Robbo's binned it now at turn 12. Phil, you're going to be my camera. In fact, I need to check this battle. And we have a safety car. There we go.
Ooh, there we go.
Neutralise the race. But Robbo, we'll jump on board with Phil, and we'll see if we can see the fallen car of Phil. Sorry, Robbo. But there you can see it there. Exactly where Phil's probably crashed or spun a few times, and truthfully, possibly in a really good time for Senna. 17 laps on the hards.
Definitely doable. The question is though, are the likes of TJ, Rosplum, KLW going to pit again to put something fresher on? Of course they could slot straight into some new mediums and easily see it through to the end, instead of having to potentially tiptoe around for the last few laps.
I think on amount of wear on the tyre, laps done, I think Rosplum needs to stay out 2 laps on them. I think needs to stay out on them, but TJ's one I couldn't call because you're looking at me doing another 16 laps, 21 laps on mediums in total. I think
tight.
For a 2-stopper, that's probably one of the worst points. I think you probably will see Senna in here, because he'll be wanting to utilise that 13-second gap ahead of Animal. Probably about 16 seconds clear of Ross, so he'll probably come out roughly around about then.
Well. TJ
up for? What's the broken time this time? As this Animal, James is saying will follow.
James has followed TJ in. Well, the stacking under a safety car isn't the worst thing in the world. Be able to cope with it a bit better.
So Sedas went hards. Alias went hards. Senna's come out in P2, which, as I say, oh wow, very close there between him and Sensation. The only thing I think that could cost Senna at this point is a last couple of laps safety car with that time penalty that he's got.
Yes. Give it another 8 or 9 laps. Sensation and Rosplum's mediums will start to fall. Those hards will come into their element by then. So, in a sense, this is Senna's race to lose. He just needs to keep it off the curb, hit that 3-second gap.
And I think the Devia gamble might not pay off. 7 laps on the hards already. I know he's retained his position, but It's not ideal. I don't know why, but TR Sensation keeps like glitching a little bit, which I've noticed. I'll jump on another car. I need to look at the stream for P11 and P.
P11 is KLW, P12 is James. KLW went to the medium tyres and James has gone to the pads.
I think you could do the rest of the race on mediums, so the people that are on 0 lap old mediums, I would say have a chance. Ross, Sensation, Hubbard, Phil are really... If I was Phil, I would even maybe in box again for another set of mediums. The gap's there before Possum's a lap down, isn't he? So it's really just Phil they need to catch up.
But I said there's no way the safety car's coming in this lap, so...
Tricky one.
Phil has... It's a good shot for Phil to pit him again. I'm partially surprised that Devler didn't box in, actually. As you were saying, those 7 lap old hards could have gone back to the mediums. Could have been easily done it to the end. Just...
Crouchy says he thinks that TR's mediums will go to the end.
To be clear, they're going to be... Crouchy did the same as me yesterday. We both went, 18, 19 laps on the mediums. Mine were up to, 65, 66% come the end of that. The Sensations would be virtually on the same. That is then getting towards puncture territory because it comes in obviously at a random factor from 60 odd all the way obviously up to 100.
I'm sure you had a few safety cars last night, if I'm right in saying.
We did. We had obviously
just a big factor.
One that we pitted on, which was about lap 12. Another one around lap 18 or 19. I would be
just looking at a look at the timing sheets here. Does this mean that Possum's unlapped himself? Because he's a minute behind Phil, but Phil's at the back of the queue, so...
Possum has unlapped himself.
This could put him in a decent position, because he's got nothing to lose. If he finishes, he gets points, so... Yeah, I wouldn't rule Possum out if he can keep it fine on the turn 12 going forward for something decent.
As you just said yourself, a finished position means points. That's the biggest thing to remember in SF1. Even if you're having an absolute stinker of a race, spinning continually, or some buggers put you in the wall, just keep going, keep grinding for your team and pull some points back. Which I think is fantastic. It takes away the element where, of course, you'd normally get a few that go, oh, bugger it, I'm P18, I ain't getting anything, I'm quitting. Stick in there.
Yep.
It could turn from a 16th in this case to maybe, I don't know, a top 10. Who knows on the restart? Who knows how desperate some people are going to get? My eyes will be on the fight between Loki and Alia, definitely. Both have a good bit of pace, but have been a little bit edgy at times on their racecraft. It could be elbows out and the works between those two.
Also, given where we are in the track, this will mean another lap behind the safety car, so
No,
anything that is going to benefit... No, it's in. That is a very, very late call. So we'll jump on board with Ross, so he's not going to have much time to make a decision because the safety car's just in. Ross is bolted already, and TR Sensation is going to get the jump on Senna. Or is he? Try and go on board with Senna. Is it the inside line? Try and give you both cars perspective. There's a little bit of contact at the rear of Senna and the front right of TR Sensation.
Sensation there. He backed out. It's good to see. Didn't try to stick it in there and keep it on in an impossible position. He dropped out and knew he'd get him later on down the line.
Oh, we've got somebody way down the field there with its content bonker. TJ's had a severe collision with him. TJ is slowing down. I think he may have went into AI mode to possibly clip something. But TJ down in 13th, and Phil's trying to make a move, and Phil, a wee bit of a finish there between TJ and Phil, which allows Bonker to catch up a position. But it's always going to happen in safety car restarts. The field's that bunched up together, not on the fastest compound of tyres, the most grippiest tyres, and that can lead to incident. We'll try and follow some battles here. We've got Alia right behind non-right low key. Seems to be a close one.
Oh,
someone drowned, and that's... You did say, mate.
Devil is in a wall.
So those hard tyres were going to be iffy. He's managed to keep it going, but that's going to put his race on the back foot. See if any of these guys can make some moves. KL is getting close to Alia. Of course, no DRS for another lap or so. So you're literally using your battery just to catch up and make sure you're within DRS. But the top three have pulled away from non-light below key, giving themselves a nice 2-second cushion.
Ross Plum is in the prime position. The other two have been burning their battery like absolutely nothing to keep on going. And there we go, Sensations also just picked up a 3-second penalty. So again, that's just changed the picture of this race entirely.
It means that Senna and Sensation are on a level playing field apart from tyres. And the man that is in the prime position is Ross Plum. He doesn't even need to win this race, he just needs to finish within 3 seconds of the top two. And he'll see himself take a maiden tier 2 victory. Quite a close gap here. Oh, got another yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that is Possum again. Has had a Spinella.
Is indeed. He's caught the inside curb of turn 5 going to 6, and it's evil what they've done to that curb this year. There was never an issue. Something else just happened.
It was just Ali, I was really out of shape there, and I was like, if he doesn't catch this car could go anywhere, and a lot of cars round about him, but he's managed to keep it in a fine position. Might see some action into turn 1 because we have non-right below key. We have Alia, we have KLW all within a few tenths of each other as Animal takes Hubbard-E. There's going to be a send it from KLW. Reasonably clean, but DRS is now activated, so this is going to put non-right below key on the back foot.
Two for the price
Alia
of one,
gets
is
a
it?
warning for going wide. He's sent it,
Oh, down the inside. Lakey has gone spin.
I don't know how much of that was possibly the other drivers there. We didn't have the greatest one. Alia's getting a little bit out of shape there.
That's a case of 3 don't go into 1. Easily as that.
No, yep.
It's just... That's that mentality of the move needs to be done now. It's risky stuff.
We'll see here if he's... Well, basically the thing is, because of all that squabbling, Animal's now involved, Hubbard-E's involved, James, Fatal Defiance, Bilges are all going to be in this train. In fact, it's a big train. Well, the top 3 have been able to pull out a 4.5 second gap as Possum is now DNF'd. He has had an issue at the same spot as before, and we have another full-blown safety car. You could pit now reasonably for other tyres, but do you give up track position?
That's naughty, Ross. That is naughty.
As he faked a pit entry?
He did indeed. Double fake in there as well.
So a few guys in the pits there. Hubbard-E moves on to the soft compound of tyre. We have Content Bonker jumping on to a pair of... Please update from the game because I cannot see. Softs as well. Fill on the softs, and non-right below key is also getting a pair of softs and a new front wing from his Aston Martin pit crew. And Devia smartly is going to pit again, and he's going to... Well, he's got nothing to lose. I think the way his race went with that issue, I think he's got to go for it.
I think those 4 have just done a very smart move there. They will be able to cut through the field extremely easily. Top 3 could be a stretch, but there's no reason why they can't be pushed in top 5, top 6.
Definitely. I think you've got every intention that, you know, we're going to be on 8-lap-old mediums, we're going to have hard tyres. I think there's going to be a few incidents as we get to the near conclusion of this race, the last 10 laps. I think we'll probably have maybe another lap under the safety car after this one. Still is quite a substantial gap. 30, maybe even 40 seconds between the leaders and Devia.
A 1 minute 2 second gap between the leader and Dev. So yeah, we'll definitely have another lap. The front 3 need to run away again. I mean, Ross Plum, as you've already said, is laughing to the bank with this one because the 3 behind him have got the penalties there. They can't afford to trip over one another's toes here. They need to, in a sense, work together shake and bake it all the way to the finish line.
I mean, you could argue someone in a very good place at the moment is KLW, fifth position, but 4 lap old mediums, no penalties. If he can have switch his tyres on quicker, get a bit of pace,
Absolutely.
then he could put himself in a very, very promising position.
What, 9 laps to go? Yeah. Animal and James, again, you could say they're involved, but they're going to have to hold on to KLW till the last couple of laps when his mediums will start to drop off. And then they can strike from there. You know, I'm really liking the odds of one of these soft drivers here, soft runners coming through the field and just taking it by storm.
But there could be a lot more twists and turns here. There is every potential we could still get one more safety car, which could flip the race right around for the likes of Senna, Sensation and Alia. It could be a case of we could have one of the hard tyre runners just not switch their tyres up to temperature. It can get quite slow, especially in that middle sector. But chat, let me know what you think. Who is your prediction to win this race? Is it going to be the man in the lead, the Alfa Romeo of Ross Plum? Are we going to go for Senna in the Ferrari on the hards? Is it going to go? Oh, and Ross Plum has absolutely full-on Roman Grosjean it. I don't even know if we can even say close that Ericsson hit him because no one was in sight, but we have caught that. Somebody clip that because Ross, that is an absolute nightmare for you, sir. As Senna will now lead this race, and that's going to drop Ross way down to 8th place. He's going to have tyres that he badly needs to not have the safety car coming in. That's coming in now, so that's going to the race as well.
Wow.
Oh, I don't want to be the guy that has to use these kind of references, but what a plum. Literally.
Absolute clanger. Oh. One thing you do not
I actually thought if anyone was going to have an issue with tyre warm-up, it was going to be someone on the hards, but yep, Ross Plum, 9 lap old mediums. And round they go, so it's going to be Senna controlling the pace. I'm going to stick on board the KLW here just to see how much Senna backs up, because you can see their TR Sensation, Alia are all close. Who is going to get the benefit here? They're all going to have a lot of battery to deploy here. Sensation is looking round the outside of Senna. Round the outside of that,
Ooh.
battle as well as KLW. There's a lot of movement I can see. Fatal Defiance is up one, James is down, Alia's all over the place. KLW gets a run on him. That's a move he had to make there. But it's Senna that takes the lead ahead of Sensation. And KLW's backed out a little bit. Maybe we hit there possibly from Alia, it's hard to tell if it was that or if we got a wobble. Hubbard making moves on the softs as well. And there's moves happening here, there and everywhere. As there's a move potentially, Defiance sticking it in against Animal. Animal manages to defend. Who is going to be risking the brakes here? Reasonably well behaved by the top 6. Is James going to possibly get a run? And Senna, 1 second, he's pulled out a DRS already, and James could be losing a position here to Ross Plum. And Ross Plum up into P7. He has got a recovery race on his hands, and he's showing good pace there. His Defiance goes a little bit wide. Let's see if Ross can get the better exit here to take P6 as well.
A recovery race, but how he cannot afford to go desperate. Cannot afford to push too hard too quickly.
Because he's got to remember that James a wee nudge on Defiance, because Ross obviously doesn't have the penalties, so if he stays within that gap of those leaders, maybe it won't be as poor a result as Biljaz gets ahead of James there.
But
James's exit was compromised.
Ross's mediums have just hit their 11th lap, so his tyres could drop off at the very... Oh.
James was backing off a little bit there. There's a lot of cars there basically going close. I wasn't sure if the 2 Red Bulls were going to collide there with the 2 McLarens in about it. And it is a penalty there for Hubbard. And Devia's going to try and send. There's a few cars with some interesting lines. Good manoeuvre there on Hubbard. So far our highest soft runner is Phil, and Phil has got round Biljaz. The 2 McLarens touch a little bit there, bang wheels. Surely Biljaz has got to let Devia by, as those soft runners are going to have to try and make those moves quickly to get involved before they run out. Phil is on a tear here, by the way. Hubbardie up to P10 as well. But this seems to be where all the battles are happening, because above them, everyone's stretching out near 1 second gap, so they are getting close to doing it without DRS. You can just see the grip difference here with those softs. Look at that. Phil, so brave. And it's somewhere we had an issue before. Not at this point. He is away. Unless the
Devil is
five can
following
take him.
through as well. Those softs are burning it.
Mick.
They're
I was going to see if you get the double overtake there, but oh my word, that is some... We expected the softs to do well more, but
I
think
called
they've
it.
even surpassed the expectations.
I said a top 5. Can I change that to a freaking podium? They are catching at a rate of knots. Though, as you said as well, KLW is doing everything he needs to do. Sitting over in that 3 second gap to the 2 leaders. Hub goes backwards. Oh.
I take it James must have had a bit of damage. He's dropped down to P15 in the Williams. But the gaps are starting to kind of spread out a little bit. Well, I say that and then I just see 2 cars within 2 tenths. Hubbardie is lost a position, I think, to non-right low key. We're on this battle at the moment between the soft runners catching Ross Plum. So obviously 12 laps on the mediums for Ross Plum, and then it is Phil and Devia on the soft tyre compound, who are, as I say, making progress. And yeah, at the moment, KLW 1.9 seconds behind Senna, just needs to keep that 1 second gap. And he'll be looking at himself a nice wee victory here. And it seems that Alia is the man that's holding his teammate up, or is he pulling him along, you decide, but it's also bringing Phil and Devi into play. Now with this DRS, this is where it's going to get interesting. The final 6 laps with DRS in play.
Ali has already depleted his battery, that he's got 7% left. So he's got no chance of having a defense if he loses the DRS. To be honest, I don't even think he's going to have a defense anyway on those hards compared to these softs. Yeah, no. Here we go. Phil's going down the inside. Oh, Ali had nearly come across and shut the door. Slight little freaking tap of the wheels, but I've managed to keep it facing forward.
Nice little battle ahead of that as well between KL and Animal. I thought that... Oh, Phil's sent it! Has he sent it too much though? The grip's going to be there for the soft tyres, and he gets ahead of Alia. Is Alia going to retaliate? Phil is brave. Oh, and he touches the back of Ross. Phil just far too aggressive there. And the ghosting system allows Alia to pass, but that's going to drop Phil down a few positions, putting the highest soft runner to now Devia up into P7. We have a retirement. Animal's gone, and that's caught a lock up with the guys out there. They've had to back off,
Safety
and
car.
we have a last couple of laps sprint out. Stare down, rampage, final dance, whatever you want to call it. Who's going to box onto softs? Because those mediums and hards are going to be really difficult to get into a prime window.
But you can't pit, the gaps are too tight. You'd be down to the last place and preying on a dream of overtakes. And okay, yes, apart from obviously turn 1 and turn 3, there isn't really many overtaking opportunities.
And this severely screws the races of Senna, Sensation and Alia, because I don't see where you can pull out a 3 second gap within probably laps 27, 28 and 29 that we'll have racing.
But we might only get 1 lap of DRS, as you just said. If that, it's going to be get the battery saved as quick as you can and deplete that to try and just blitz away on old worn tyres, which would be cold. How Ross Plum and TR Sensation may not get the tyres back into the window. It might be too far gone already.
What a position Devia 300 finds himself in.
Absolutely.
This is going to be uncallable. As I say, it is one of those tracks that does bite. As I say, turn 12 has been really, really noticeable for issues. I think he's in turn 11 there. The animal obviously just maybe caught the white paint on the left hand side, and as the guys are about to get around that now, you'll see on the onboard. Pretty much the curb here on the left hand side, and that's where he's just caught it and kind of ricocheted back onto the track. This is a league with ghosting on, so unlike other places where you'll be taken out, here you are perfectly fine. I think you're getting another lap behind the seat. Well, I'd say so. I think it's going to be too late for Fatal Defiance, Hubbardie and James to catch up. So I'll put the question at the chat again. Who are we tipping to win this? We are going to probably have racing laps of numbers 27, 28 and 29. Good luck calling the podium who is going to be predicting the correct lottery numbers this week, because it's going to be tough. But
Yeah.
every lap behind the safety car just screws Senna, Sensation and Alia a wee bit more.
I can see Alia dropping all the way down off just the race itself, because those soft cut guys are going to come flying through, especially Bill, TJ, Defiance and Hub. None of them, as you've already said, have got nothing to lose. They're going to go bat out of leather here and just completely fly for it.
So I think the difference between Senna and Alia is Senna at least has buffers.
Yes.
Alia's got absolutely no protection.
Alia could prove to be the saving grace for both Senna and Sensation here. If he can put on some miraculous defense against these soft runners, he may have saved. Well, he may save his teammates. Actually, he may give his teammate a chance at a podium if he can do the team orders.
Crazy saying Devia, Ross, and KLW are the men in prime positions.
Cannot disagree. Cannot disagree.
I think we're going to get one lap of DRS racing, and that's going to be the final lap.
Question is, will anybody save their battery for that lap? Because we've seen so far, everybody has blitzed it as soon as within 1 or 2 laps of the restarts.
Even if there's some people that don't want to, I think they're going to be pressurised into doing so. Just purely by how gung-ho it is. It is a 3-lap sprint, effectively.
And here we go. Here's a 3-lapper lobby. Whoa. We know where these normally end up.
No comment. I don't race in them anymore. So Senna, you can see this time, is backing the pack up a lot, allowing the safety car to get out in front and get into the pits. So he is going to want to put as much pressure and give as much guessing to Sensation as he can. He's weaving. I think this could be one of the ones where he goes as late as possible. I think he's caught Sensation napping a little bit. Ross Plum possibly napping. I think Alia is the one that could be making pressure on Ross. We'll jump on the board of Alia. And top 3 are information. And and Devia's right across Alia. That's not ideal. And that's going to really compromise Alia. He's squeezed basically non-right.
Hunting him there.
And that squeeze on non-right below key saw him lose a few positions. They touch, it's Halal, Alia and Phil. Content Bonker is up there as well. Oh, it's a bit messy there with the soft guys coming through, and Alia's covered across and took out Bonker's front wing, and that's going to be the end of his race. We've got a yellow flag, that's TJ in the middle of nowhere. Let's cover the cars at the front. Oh, and Phil might have lost a bit of front wing there to Devia's braking. It's always going to happen in these late stages of the race. When you've got a sprint chance like this, you've got that chance of glory. Desperation can make a man do mental things, and you can certainly see that unfolding here as Bill gets ahead of Alia. But the top 3 remain in formation, and there's an incident. I'm trying to see who that is that's dropping. It's yellow flag is now gone.
Nobody.
Strange game. Phil is going to try and get Deva here. I think we've actually had a situation where the soft runners have pretty much tripped over each other's toes, and in doing that has given an opportunity for these guys to pull away. KLW needs to stay within a second of the top 2 and keep ahead of Ross Plum. He wins this race.
As I say, all the tripping over is giving Senna and Sensation the chance to run away. Because of course the gap to KLW is 2.1 seconds at this minute. But he really needs to claw this time back quickly, or Senna's laughing.
Because he's already dropped out of DRS. I know you're only going to get one lap, but that one lap could be enough to tow Sensation
to it.
A decent position.
So I say Ross Plum is going to, as you say, in DRS, Ross Plum's going to get one lap to attack KLW, and boy, he is going to attack him. I mean, if you look at the batteries, Ross Plum has been saving 84% compared to 50% for KLW. It's... Oh. I think we can rule the soft runners out now. I don't think they're going to catch in time.
There's one that might make an impression, and that's the switcheroo you've seen at McLaren.
Team orders.
Bill's tyres are 2 laps old. His tyres are 15 laps younger than Ross Plum's. If he can have a fantastic Sector 2, there's every bit of potential that he can put himself in a good position. This game is a good on board of Ross versus KLW. Ross gets ahead.
But more
But the man
importantly,
that is going to have...
More importantly, it's a 3.5 second gap now to Senna.
This is going to be if KLW, sorry not KLW, if Bill Jizz can get ahead of these two guys with the DRS here, he could win this race.
He could.
As mad as that sounds.
He needs to get ahead here. He needs to do double overtake, just full send. But he's not got it.
He's
not got it.
Because all the time he would gain would be in the middle sector.
Yes. And these two tripping over one another's toes all down the third sector and across the start finish line. There's just 1 set of the race.
Seeing if there's any other moves in the field. That is possibly James getting close to Alia for 10th. But it does seem like even though they had the penalties, it's not been too bad an issue for the top two. Although in saying that, the gap is
a Sensation
borderline
disconnected.
3 seconds. We have a disconnect, yeah. I don't see his car is marked as an X, so that... I never saw his name pop up. It never once flagged up on my screen.
He's just dropped off. He's gone.
Oh, he's back in the game.
What?
So really bizarre issues there, and that has caused Ross to drop out of the 3 second window, which means your winner of the Bahrain Grand Prix is SF1 Senna, followed by Ross Plum in second by 2 tenths. KLW takes P3, Bill takes 4, Phil 5th, Sensation 6th, Defiant 7th, Devia 8th, James in 9th, Non-Ripe Loki 10th, Hubady 11th, 12th place I think went to... 11th place went to Alia, 12th place to Hubady, 13th place for Content Bonker, 14th place will be for TJ.
From first to last. Oh, Tej.
That is quite incredible with that Sensation there. He's obviously would have seen it on the stream, the disconnect issues. Cotton Bonker gets the fastest lap of the race as well, a 1:27.1, and then TJ decides to beat it as well. James has joined us. Do we do interviews? Is that a part of...
I wasn't part, no. That's not a part, no.
Oh, that's fine, that's fine.
Unless you want an improv one with a man that's just joined, of course. Boy, we'll keep it quiet for a minute.
We'll just obviously let people see the final results. If the rule makers need to see the timing stats, we'll have everything up here for them to see, so you can see the full gaps between people. The penalties, we'll give you everything we can. But let's say top 3, Senna, Ross Plum and KLW. We had 14 finishers with Animal, Possum, Robbo, Lucky 13, Rashi and Nutmeg is your DNFs. If we go to your race director, you can see there all the various hitters. So if anyone wants a strat for the Tier 1 race coming up on Sunday. And there's all your incidents. That's a lot of collision, guys, a lot of track limits. Everything is getting exposed on the stream.
Always exposed. Always expose that poor driving. Bash him.
We're exposing your collisions, guys, so you can see what he's done. And there's your pit stops there. You can see there, Phil for a front wing, Possum front wing, Devia, Loki, Defiance, and Hubbard, and then Bonker and TJ at the end. So we finish it there because obviously in 14 seconds this will be all over. So we will say thank you very much for tuning in to tonight's stream. If you wish to watch Tier 1, it will be taking place on Sunday evening. I believe it is the same times as we started tonight.
It is, yes. 8:30 start.
So I hope you'll join whichever commentary team, I don't know which it is, for that. But thank you for watching. This has been 21 Maxwell alongside SF1 Molly. Molly, anything else you'd like to add before we conclude?
Nothing to add today. Not at all.
Top analysis work there from the Mole Man. So cheers for watching, guys. Take it easy, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you on the flip side for the next race as well for this league, which is going to be at the Temple of Speed, Monza, in 1 week's time. Cheerio, bye. See you soon. Well, I'll let you know the second when I actually finish the stream.